Tonight, the Atomic Voodoo Lounge podcast and Heavy Sixer Productions are proud to present a review of the new movie Backrooms by Amy of the Wandering Soul podcast. Warning, this review contains spoilers. However, I also posted a discussion that Amy did with Corey that is spoiler-free, so if you haven't seen the film yet, maybe you want to check that one out first. Everybody's talking about these back rooms. Very scary, very liminal, neither here nor there, like most of our lives. Amy from the Wandering Soul podcast volunteered to go see this Backrooms and give us a little report with Corey in a conversational movie review discussion. Again, this version contains spoilers, so if you don't want anything spoiled, check out our other post that is a spoiler-free review discussion.
Hi, this is Amy from the Wandering Soul podcast.
And I'm Corey.
And we're here to talk about the movie The Backrooms. Kane Parsons' big screen debut, and just come out, and it's kind of a polarizing film, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, there's lots of different opinions floating around.
Yeah. Well, just to give a brief summary of The Backrooms, Clark is our main character, and he is recently divorced?
Recently
He's
divorced,
divorced.
yeah.
And he owns a furniture store or works in it, and he's actually living there. And he discovers a portal, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, like kind of, but it's not like not an obvious portal though. It's just the wall.
Yeah, and he slips through it.
Yeah.
And he enters the back rooms, which, if you've seen the YouTube videos, you know what they look like. It's this endless maze of kind of office-like buildings. Everything's very liminal looking.
Yeah.
And as he spends more and more time there, he eventually gets his therapist also involved. And she follows him in.
Well, before that, he gets his employees involved who
Yes.
both die.
Yeah, they kind of mysteriously disappear.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I've read different opinions about that bit as well. We'll talk about the ending, I guess, as we go on. What was it you liked about this film?
I did really like the soundtrack a lot, and I just found out just now, you told me that apparently he did the soundtrack as well. Which is very cool to me. Oh, and Ido van
Bremen?
Bremen?
Yes.
It really added to it a lot.
Yeah, the soundtrack was, I thought, very effective. And it was really cool because at some points in the movie, you could hear the soundtrack from the YouTube video.
Yeah.
Came back. So it was like a cool callback. As for myself, I really liked the sets, and apparently they built this huge...
Yeah, they did, yeah. So much of it was a physical set, which was really incredible, and the practical effects was a huge strength, I feel like. The guy who played the pirate Clark...
Yes.
Was he the world's tallest man, or he's a very tall man?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a real guy who was actually that tall. And I'm not sure how much of that was his makeup was practical effects, but I know that he was real, which is really cool that they used him.
So Pirate Clark is kind of this alter ego of Clark who appears in the back rooms. And we've been discussing him because Clark uses a pirate character in his advertisements. So we sort of discussed about how Pirate Clark might represent
his anger.
His
I
anger,
think.
yeah, because when you see him in therapy, the guy obviously has some anger issues. And it appears that what happens in the back rooms is that, now tell me if you agree, copies of things in the real world are made. Except that, like if you keep photocopying a copy, eventually the image, but in this case the real thing, degrades.
It degrades down into its simplest pieces, I think, is what happens, sort of.
Okay. So that's kind of how we get this essential idea of Clark with his anger being portrayed in a pirate. And some pretty shocking things happen towards the end with the pirate.
Yes.
Let's talk about the acting. We're going to try not to mangle Clark. The actor who played Clark, his name is Chiwetel Ejiofor. Did I do that right?
Chiwetel Ejiofor?
Yeah. And I know he's been in some other...
I recognized him from something, but I don't know what.
I guess he's sort of an up-and-coming kind of an actor. I've read reviews where they really weren't impressed with his acting. But given the character, I think he did a good job.
I don't know. Part of it, I don't know. I feel like his acting kind of fell flat to me, and that it just... I wasn't entirely convinced by him, I feel like, at some points. Maybe specifically in the scenes with his therapist, when he's in therapy, I feel like he was acting a bit.
Like you could tell he was acting.
I could tell he was acting in those scenes. But I feel like it was better in the scenes with his employees, in the scenes where he was actually, like, in the back rooms.
Yes.
I feel like he did well. And the scene at the end with him and the pirate, I think, was great.
Yeah.
I think. His whole, like, monologue there to Mary, I think was done excellently. Yeah.
Okay, now tell me about Mary. She's played by Renate Reinsve. And I know that she's kind of a foil to Clark. He's angry.
Yes.
He's very emotional. She, however, has apparently spent her life stifling feelings. So maybe it's just that she's trying to exaggerate that part of the character's emotional makeup. But she's the one, to me, who seemed very flat.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say the word flat. I feel like... Yeah. I'm not sure if it was her acting or if it was the way that her character was written. Because I feel like she had a lot of potential. But I'm not sure if her character was fully explored to the extent that I think it could have been explored.
Right, because she spent a lot of the movie very just straight-faced, and I mean, even in scenes where she wasn't in therapy with Clark. Now, the budget for this was $10 million. Of course, the director, Kane Parsons. Are you a fan of the YouTube?
Yeah, I am. I love Kane Parsons' YouTube.
What about it appealed to you? Like just the initial.
Initially, when I found out about his work, I think I found out from the Backrooms videos, but I've been following him for a long time, and my favorite thing by him is his short film, The Oldest View, which I think is cut up into a couple parts on YouTube. And I found it really intriguing because of how, like, straightforwardly, like, found footage it was, in the way that it felt believable. Like, it really felt like it was some guy finding some crazy thing. And if you haven't seen this, you should watch it, definitely.
Well, for me, okay, The Oldest View, when it shows up, I thought it was...
It's just so bizarre.
Very ludicrous.
It is.
I mean, it's just this thing of absurdity. which, if you think about it, the Backrooms also is, because the absurdity as you continue through the Backrooms just seems to grow. Now, ending. Did it suck, or was it a banger?
I thought it was intriguing, and I wanted to know more. I don't know.
Are we giving a spoiler here?
Well, this is, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it could have been explored more, the ending. Obviously, Clark died.
Yes. Eaten by Pirate Clark.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I did not see that coming.
Me neither. I feel like when the pirate walked into the room and he was just talking to it, none of the other like copies of people had done anything violent from what we had seen, so I didn't think that they were capable of that. So that was just very shocking to see, I feel like.
But it makes sense because the pirate is like an expression of Clark's anger. And like you had said, it's just kind of copying what Clark is doing.
Yeah.
At this point in the film, he's got Mary there with him, the therapist. She is eventually rescued, right?
Supposedly. We don't know, really.
Supposedly. Yeah. It's one of those kind of government-funded agencies that you're not really sure.
It didn't seem like they were government-funded. It seemed like it was it was like an MRI company who had found out about this, and they were now pivoting to researching this.
They were pivoting, but it had that conspiracy feel about it.
Yeah.
And I guess you come away with the impression that Mary's going to stay in there. She's not going to be permitted to go back to the real world. And the final scene of the film is Mary, but her copy. How she appears in the back rooms, and it looks, for all the world to me, like an early AI image.
It does feel that way, yeah. And a lot of the themes of the movie feel like a statement on AI in a way. Right.
If it's a statement on AI, if the whole thing is, what's the statement? What's it saying?
Gosh. I'm not sure.
Well, I would think that it would be something that was certainly not in alignment with whatever AI is or going to turn into.
No, I think it would be more so about how the only thing it can do is copy.
It copies, and it is not a human creation, and therefore, I mean, that kind of gets played out when you see the humans in the copies of humans in the back rooms, especially something like the pirate Clark. Do you think that this film says anything about work-life balance? And we only talked about this because so much of the back rooms seems like an office.
It's an office space. Well, I feel like going off of Clark's character, his whole life is his work at the moment. He's living at work, and he's only working. He has no friends. So I feel like him finding this crazy, nonsensical labyrinth in his place of work that he goes insane in and cannot escape from, I feel like is sort of on the nose, really. The fact that it's at his job itself.
I mean, that's a reality for a lot of Americans. A lot of people have 2 or 3 jobs. A lot of people basically are spending their waking hours working. What about the idea of trauma and memory?
I think that is explored a lot in the themes where she talks about the loops that you make in your brain involving traumatic memories. I think it was interesting how the scene of Mary in her mother's house, where she looks out the window, tries to open the window, was sort of paralleled in the scene where she discovers the Backrooms I think the music was similar in that moment, and the way that it was shot was very similar. And I feel like that could sort of be a metaphor for re-entering that loop in your brain.
Re-entering the loop of trauma, or re-entering the loop of memory.
The loop, yeah.
Because they say that, the more we think about our memories, our memories also erode, just the way images do in the back rooms. Overall now, what are your thoughts? If you're going for 5 stars, how many stars does the back rooms get?
I feel like I would give it maybe 3.5 stars out of 5.
Why? Why are you deducting points?
I'm deducting points just... I just feel like I wish more happened. I don't know. I feel like that's really all I was disappointed by. Maybe 4. Maybe I'll give it 4.
See, I was going to go for 4 as well. And you do have a point. I wanted there to be more stuff in the background. Didn't you?
And I think it makes sense that it wasn't as explored, because I feel like a lot of Kane's work is just sort of like, here's this weird thing that's going on, and I don't even know really what's happening here.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like overall it translated very well to a film. But yeah, it's that and the parts with the character writing that sort of fell flat to me with Mary and Clark.
Okay.
I feel like. And also the employees.
That's valid.
I didn't find myself really caring at all what happened to them, because I just didn't like them.
We didn't get a lot of time with them either, so. Okay, well, again, I'm Amy from the Wandering Soul Podcast.
And I'm Corey.
And that was our review of The Backrooms.
Thank you, Amy and Corey, for that interesting discussion on Backrooms. We also posted a spoiler-free discussion. If you know somebody that would be interested in listening to that, who hasn't seen the film and wants to know more about it, send them our way. Thanks for listening, and please spread the word about the Atomic Voodoo Lounge's mix of speculative noir poetry, fiction, and spoken word. In addition to the words, the AVL also has the beat. We play a variety of mood-inducing music, including surf, exotica, jazz, blues, and more. Copyright 2026 by Heavy Sixer Productions, LLC. All rights reserved. And remember, AtomicVoodooLounge.com.